What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We're back with some more hotel action going on here. But just for the intro, don't worry. For the game, I'll be back in my natural habitat, and even more so for this game, because this, as you might be able to tell from just looking at the deck here, is going to be a Type 2 game. This is it's kind of exciting for me, but I feel like just for the community as a whole. I'm going to throw it out there, like, that the Type 2 Lackey Grand Prix is finally becoming a thing, and it was something that I didn't have super high expectations for. I was like, oh, if you just get 4 of us, it'll be kind of fun. We'll just try it out and do it. We got 10 people signed up for the very first one, which is awesome. The kind of sort of different things that we're trying out. So we had 10 people interested in doing it, I think in part because we're doing 2-week rounds. So instead of doing one game every week, that can be kind of tricky scheduling, especially with Type 2, although I feel like actually it's not that difficult to do. I think in part it's just because there's also the Type 1 Lackey Grand Prix going on at the same time. So having 2 weeks for the Type 2 one seems like it was just kind of the best plan, especially because we were thinking it was going to be fewer people, so we weren't going to be having to do quite as many rounds. I think right now the plan is still to just do 3 rounds, even though we have 10 people, and then we can still have like a top cut with a top 2 or something like that, where the top 2 could play a final round if they want to, or I don't know. But based on just kind of the way things are going to work out, I guess if we did do a 4th round, it would go like right up to nationals, give or take, yeah, something like that. So maybe, I don't know. We're in round 2 currently, about I guess just a few days away from the round 2 deadline. So I guess we've got then like another month before if we did 4 rounds. So we'll probably end up doing that. I think that would be fun. It seems like people are enjoying it, so that's great. I was kind of blown away when we got 10 people signed up. I think that's awesome, and I think it's something that we're going to keep doing. We might take a little break leading up to nationals, and then I don't know how long until afterwards until we'll start again. But if you are interested in trying out Type 2, I think this is a good way to do it. It's a little bit trickier on Lackey just because it's more cards to look through, but when you're sitting down and playing Type 2, you have to shuffle a deck that's this thick, and on Lackey you just have to right click and left click. It's pretty easy to do the shuffling, at least. So that part of it is nice. A couple other things we're doing differently. So for the Type 1 Lackey Grand Prix, they have given a 75-minute time limit, and in order to make these Type 2 games not go quite so long, we've decided to actually stick with that same time limit for these Type 2 games. Type 2 games typically in a tournament setting, they have an hour-long time limit, which is like 30-ish% more than a Type 1 game, which has 45 minutes for a tournament setting. So the proportionally, I guess we could think like, oh well, we could extend it for to be like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes or something like that. To go, I guess it would be I guess like 90 minutes would be the proportion, or 100 minutes, right? I don't know, something like that. Yeah, 100 minutes would be the way to extend it, so to an hour 40. And we were just like, let's not do that, and let's just keep it 75. It's a little bit easier to schedule and manage for people. And then also, granted, I think that 75 might even just be too long for the Type 1 games anyway. I think most people are able to finish more quickly than that, but if you're a fan of my videos, you're like, oh, you go to time all the time. What are you talking about? So, that's just my the style with the decks that I play or something like that. But whatever. it's just more video, more gameplay for you guys to watch, right? Can't complain about that. So I think that the 75 minutes is good, but then we're also kind of in combination with that, counting all timeout wins as full wins. This was an idea that Brian Jones had talked to me about when we were kind of talking about Type 2 and just kind of what might make the format a little bit better, or just kind of like some ideas. And because you have to be balanced with your good cards and your evil cards, then the gameplay is going to be very back and forth, and you can't necessarily build like a super aggressive deck or a super defensive heavy deck. And so even if your game goes to time, it should still be relatively balanced game. And so playing, or I guess giving full points to even a timeout win seems reasonable, because you can't just build a defensive heavy deck and kind of intentionally stall out the game and then win, like 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that. And even if you do, it just kind of puts more weight on the loss soul differential, I think. Even if you time out and you win, 4-0, that's still a pretty decent score. You get a +4 loss soul differential, and it's just going to reward that the same as the player who wins 7-3. So it kind of focuses more on how much you beat your opponent by, and not necessarily if you did so in time. So that if you win 6-0, that's the same as a 7-1 win. So it's kind of equally rewarding that. You could maybe argue that it hinders, or I guess hurts, those players who are losing, but they're able to keep their opponent from getting to 7. I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily a downside of this, but I'm interested in feedback and kind of conversation about it. If this is something that we should consider for the official Type 2 format, and by we I mean like the Redemption community in general. I don't have any power to make those decisions, but I think if it's something that we get a lot of people on board with, we can kind of have more conversations and talk to the actual decision makers about those kind of things, and other things with Type 2 that probably haven't really been looked at in a while. I know Brian Jones is kind of pioneering the fight against experience credit, which I'll admit can be a little bit tedious, and getting into how much of an impact it actually has on any given Type 2 game, and whether it's worth the extra time or attention, I guess, it takes to one, actually remember to put it on your characters that win battles, and also to keep track of, I've got these numbers on my characters, these numbers on my enhancements, and then also this much experience credit. And it's just, does it matter too much, is the question. It is kind of funny because it actually does come up in this game as something that's relevant at one point. So I think that will, not that that's really an argument to keep it, but it is just kind of funny that it came up kind of as we had been having these conversations, and that we, in this case, I mean, like Brian and I and a few others who have been talking about Type 2 in general as a format and the health of it and whatnot. I think Type 2 is going to be really fun at Nationals this year. Kind of have a little bit of an announcement about that, not really anything to worry about or to plan for or anything, but that's something that when Tyler gets back in the country and he and I have some time to sit down, we're going to talk about that, and it's going to be kind of fun. I hope we'll maybe incentivize people to either play Type 2 at Nationals or just kind of be more interested or engaged in and with Type 2 in general. So that is kind of my whole spiel, my sell, I guess, for Type 2 at this point. I've definitely sold it before, or at least attempted to, and now let's talk about the deck that I've got sitting in front of you here that maybe you've kind of been soaking it in a little bit already here, what we got going on, but you can see that the Ashkelon combo is not entirely dead, I don't think. So they changed the rule with hold, the way that works, and it makes it so that you can only target a card with a hold ability, or you can only use a hold ability to target a card once per turn, whether that's moving the card into or out of the card with the hold ability. And so no longer can you cycle captured characters between, occupying Ashkelon, then into a fortress that holds captured humans, and then out of the fortress that holds captured humans back into Ashkelon, and make your opponent discard 4 cards from their hand in a turn. However, this only applies to, the limit on holds resets if the card resets to face value. And with Ashkelon and some captured characters and some cards that can hold them, I was like, this would actually kind of fit well in a Joshua deck where I'm also trying to reset my Promised Land and get some value there. And Promised Land and Ashkelon both kind of achieve a similar purpose. I know there have been a few Joshkelon is what I'm calling them. I don't know if other people have been calling them that as well, but that's the name that stuck with me anyway. Joshkelon decks, where I think Jay was running one at one point in Type 1, where it was a Joshua deck that was also running the Ashkelon combo, and that was before the change to hold, so the combo actually worked. And I was like, what? I think in Type 2 this could actually still be effective. So this is how we're going to be trying to do it. So you can have 2 copies of Ashkelon in Type 2, and because it's the site side that we care about, you want, or the site side is generic, then you can have both of them in play at the same time. And if an OT Lost Soul is put here, each opponent must discard a card from hand, is the ability that we want to trigger. You do have to have Unity, Evil Humans, Philistine, so that's why we've got a Philistine defense going on here. So if we have some captured humans, we could, let's just say, in a hypothetical best case scenario, we've got 2 copies of Ashkelon in play, we've got a Raiders camp, and we've got up to even 4 captured humans would be kind of the ideal, because what you can still do is you can put a captured human into Ashkelon, put 1 into each copy. You can move both of those captured humans to Raiders camp, because the limit is on the number of cards, or the actual cards that it's targeting, not the hold ability itself. So the captured humans can move, and then if you've got 2 other captured humans, you can move both of those into your Ashkelons, and then you can move those out. And as long as you're only targeting 1 card at a time, then you can use or like 1 card per turn, then you can still use Ashkelon's ability up to 4 times. The 4 activations limit, unfortunately, does apply to both copies of Ashkelon. So, if you have both copies, you can activate both of them twice. You can activate one of them 3 times and the other one once. Just kind of depending on how you have them here. But so if you have those captured humans, you can get 4 activations of Ashkelon in a turn. But then you have to spend your next turn moving the 4 captured characters out of Raiders camp, and then you could occupy Ashkelons again with them, but you can't move them out until the turn after. So the way to kind of work around that, though, let's say that you just have 1 copy of Ashkelon, you have 1, maybe 2 captured humans, you can put 1 in Ashkelon, put a captured human in Ashkelon, you can move it to Raiders camp, and then you can put a different OT Lost Soul in Ashkelon. So now you've got two instances or activations of Ashkelon. And then what you can do is you can play Lost Child Found to bounce up to 3 other cards. You can bounce Raiders Camp, you can bounce Ashkelon, and let's say Promised Land. That seems pretty good. Sometimes, unfortunately, with this deck, you also have to bounce Medad, because he might be the only way to play Lost Child Found. We do have a copy of Rahab in the deck and 1 in reserve as well, so hopefully we can be using her instead, so we can keep our Promised Land Unity. But if you then play your Promised Land, you can take what you want, and then you can put your Ashkelon back down. You can put your Raiders Camp back down. At this point, the holdability on Raiders Camp has reset its limit, and so you can put the captured character back in Ashkelon. You can move it to Raiders Camp, and you can get your 4 activations of Ashkelon plus an extra activation of Promised Land. If you can do that every turn, that seems pretty good. Of course, once you move to Raiders Camp the second time, you will have to have either another captured human or another way to bounce or reset Raiders Camp for your next turn when you can take the captured human out. So it's still a little bit of juggling that you have to do there, and I think that there are probably some more optimizations that could be done to this deck. This is you're about to watch the only game I will have and have had, or I have played with it. So yeah, there's definitely some tweaking that could be done and some other optimizations, I think, to get this to run a little bit smoother. But the way that I built it, or I guess what I had in mind, was just to kind of go all in on this combo, both on the offense side of kind of the hand manipulation. So we've got Promised Land, we've got Teaching Comparables, 3 copies of that. And then we've got 3 total copies of Lost Child Found to do the resets. So 2 in reserve, or 2 in the main deck and 1 in reserve. I thought about 4 copies, and it's like, you probably don't really need them. You can recur them with the Tabernacle if you kind of get to that point. But ideally, if you're able to get things set up, then you won't need too many of them. I don't know. Type 2 games can definitely go a while, so maybe it would be better to be that way. I don't know why I'm wearing these headphones, so I'm going to take them out quick, and I sound different, but I'm not listening to anything. So also, apologies for the lighting. There's no other lamps in this hotel room other than the ones that are stuck to the wall over there. So I've got the natural lighting coming in a little bit, but it's getting later in the evening and it's not doing as much. So yeah, that's what we got. So anyways, we're doing the hand manipulation stuff, and then also lots of territory pressure. A couple copies of Joshua's Sword, 3 copies of Joshua's Officiators, not only to get the Joshua's Swords, but also to take their fortresses, because we want to deal with their hand and deck protection and that kind of thing. I guess primarily their hand protection, so any storehouses, any stables, any Jerusalem Towers. If anybody other than me ever uses that card, put a comment in the comment section if you use Jerusalem Tower in a deck. I want to know. I'm not the only one. But anyways, we also got Spies at AI to put some hand pressure on, and a couple other weapons for Joshua's Officiators. Pretty standard, I think, Joshua list here. I think some of the maybe notable things is that I only have 1 copy of Stone Carriers with 2 copies of Medad. I feel like that's probably okay. I can maybe see going for 1 more, just because getting Captain out early to start getting the ball rolling, getting that acceleration is important. But also, I feel like people are kind of figuring out, like, it's better not to block Stone Carriers, at least early on in the game, because then you don't let your opponent kind of get the ball rolling there. So I would almost be tempted to put in a 2nd copy of Captain before a 2nd copy of Stone Carriers, especially because Medad can go get Stone Carriers, Joshua's Covenant can get it. It's just like, I don't know. It's maybe not the best case scenario. And then also I put in 2 copies of Bearers of the Ark. There's not too often that I will put in 2 copies of a unique hero, especially when there's kind of a comparable unique hero in the Trumpeting Priests that could be also in this slot, and trigger Tabernacle, trigger my Book of the Covenant, or allow Book of the Covenant to go to deck. Works well with Ark of the Covenant. But I think Bearers of the Ark is just so much stronger, especially on turn 1. It's a great option to go to with Medad, because you can either draw 2 or you can activate Joshua's Covenant from deck and just start getting the acceleration going, I guess the hand control going with Promised Land. Getting that out on the rescue. I guess you can also do that with Spies at AI, but I think Bearers is just a little bit more flexible. And then, you can also get Ark of the Covenant, and that can be handy. And then you can also just draw 2, and I'm not a big fan of the Trumpeting Priests. I don't care as much about their artifacts. I can take those out with Joshua's sword. I've got my own artifacts that I'm going to want to be activating, so I felt like 2 copies of Bearers was good. If I lose one on the first turn, then I've got another one for later in the game. With the Tabernacle, Eternal Covenant is good there. So that was the direction I decided to go there. Another hero that you might expect to see a second copy of that I chose not to was Joshua, and that was in part because of Eternal Covenant, and there was there were previous versions, I guess, of a Joshua type 2 deck where I was using the gold-red Joshua as well, so I'm using one of each because I was also running like Faith of Joshua and that kind of thing to help kind of get Promised Land and all that, and Captain fairly importantly going. And I can definitely see an argument for doing that still, but in this one I wanted to be kind of all in on the hand pressure stuff, and so there just wasn't really space for Faith of Joshua and the like. So we got 1 copy of Joshua, and we just gotta kind of hope that he doesn't get banished or something like that, so we can get the max value with Joshua's sword and Joshua's officiators and all that. I did put a copy of the Roots Captain in here because we are all in on this kind of hand pressure thing. Roots Captain, I think, makes it easier to kind of get those. Just kind of makes it easier to get inexpensive rescues, I guess. Where if you're using Promised Land and Ashkelon to put pressure on their hand, then you're kind of limiting their options that way, and then Captain with the negate ability, even limits their options even further. Where I can just prioritize taking out their CBP and their CBN evil enhancements, and once I take care of those, then Captain's ability can take care of the rest. So I felt like putting him in a reserve, especially with Joshua, who can grab him and ban to him right away, just seemed like the what best play, I guess. I don't necessarily want him early, whereas this Captain, I want him early to kind of get that acceleration. So I don't know if this is the best way to run Joshua in Type 2 or anything, but is definitely a good way for this strategy. I felt like again, optimizations could definitely be made, but that was what I ended up with here. We've got a lot of the kind of flex dominance here, so Long Day, Buckler, Angel of God. It's one of the great things about Type 2, or I guess big Type 1 decks if you're into that sort of thing, but you get to run all of these dominance. You can see I've got 7 good dominance here, I've got 6 evil dominance here, that's 13, and then I've got 2 that are both. So if you haven't done the math already, that's 15, which I do have 15 Lost Souls. This is a 106 card Type 2 deck, which isn't really all that crazy. It's basically the 57 of Type 2, except it's less of a difference, I guess, because it's only 6 more cards, and then also it's Type 2, so it's less of a proportion of the deck. So I think getting that extra dominant is, it's maybe not optimized or optimal or whatever, but I just, in part, it was a space thing of like, I don't know what to cut, but I still want to make sure that I have the things for the combo, and I don't mind too much. If I were taking this to nationals, maybe I'd probably get it down to 100. But here we are. This is fine. It's just for a kind of more casual tournament, and it was more about kind of the proof of concept of like, is this Ashkelon stuff something that could actually work in Type 2, even though in Type 1 it's probably not going to get you there. So the defense, we had to go mono Philistines to make sure that I had unity for Ashkelon, and then we also needed to make sure that we had some ways to capture heroes, which Philistines don't do a great job of with their enhancements. Thought about using some of the like Canaanite capture stuff, but like even though Canaanites give themselves away and that kind of thing, I just felt like the Ashkelon stuff, like just it wasn't worth risking not having unity. I do have Oath of Purity in reserve to that I could use to help out with that, but I feel like more often than not that's going to be used for like bouncing Medads and that kind of thing to make sure we have Promised Land unity as well. Double unity on offense and defense can be a little bit tricky, so That is what I ended up with. I thought about splashing in some princes because it is only unity for evil humans, so you can run demons and animals and have those in play and not have to worry about messing up unity, but I just didn't really feel like it was necessary. I felt like I could achieve what I wanted with just the Philistines here. So got a couple copies of Philistine commanders to help get Ashkelons out and also help get out Raiders camp and also Sheol, I guess. And Philistine garrison, they just help to get Ashkelons primarily, get those out and rolling soon. I've got a couple copies of Avenged in here to do the same thing, and then there's an aliens in here that can help get me a captured character because it captures to a territory, so I can capture it to my own. Also got stocks in the neutral section here, as well as go into captivity and reserve, which can be got out with endless treasures. Also a couple copies of Goliath's Curse to help deal with the hand protection fortresses and that kind of stuff. Probably could just put in one copy here, but having two isn't bad either. I mean, the enhancement is kind of nice, especially with Philistines, when some of them are pretty big, and just having more negates is not bad. So what I like about Philistines is that you can pretty much just guaranteed run one copy of each unique Philistine and then multiple copies of Philistine Armor Bearer, so that you can go get them from deck and later in the game get them from discard pile or reserve, wherever they end up. So that's kind of nice. We've got a Fikal and a Delilah in reserve, just kind of as two more flexible characters that we might want later in the game. Enhancements are pretty straightforward. Betrayal and Bringing Fear are both great with the playability on King Achish. Betrayal, because you can just go to their hand, take out their battle winner, draw 3 cards. As long as they don't have another way to win the battle or like a negate for Betrayal, then you're in pretty good shape. And Bringing Fear, because it negates Achish's playability and just puts it back in your hand, so your evil enhancements still work, but and you have Bringing Fear either to use in that battle if you need to, if they have something that's like CVP, or just for next turn to keep on doing the same thing. Go Away, another way to help reset unity for Promised Land, although the territory class enhancements in this deck are pretty tight, where I'm going to be wanting to play Teaching in Parables or Lost Child Found most turns, so that's not necessarily something to count on. So that's why I just have one copy. Is kind of a good flex spot here, but otherwise I think that's just about it for notable things on the defense here. Lost Souls are maybe the last thing to mention here. That I've got some Lost Souls that I doubled up on, and then kind of a few more flex spots, but overall wanted to keep OT Unity so that they all work well with Ashkelon. I felt like Complacent was good with this deck because I can kind of, work around needing to play Dominance in battle or not. I think if you're doing hand pressure, it's nice to restrict their dominance, at least their battle dominance, because then their hand just gets a little bit more clogged with things that they don't really want to throw away, but don't really have an opportunity to use. So it just kind of puts your opponent in a trickier position, especially because Promised Land can't take dominance. Then we can leave them their hand, take the other things that are more impactful for them at the moment. And then Covet Hunter to get the kind of flexible Lost Souls that we want. Outcry to help get the defense set up. Prosperity is just good. And then all these kind of flex spots, kind of just depending on what we need at the time, and Hunters to go get them. I feel like that's a decent way to do it in Type 2 these days, because there are just so many good Lost Souls. The other argument is just I could pick Distressed and Humble and put another copy of each of those instead of the 2 Hunters, but it's kind of a preference thing and just good to test out what your deck needs. This was a fun deck to play and to build, so if you are wanting to get into Type 2 and just try a deck out, you can check this one out. And here's that's kind of a breakdown of how it works. There's a Fortress of Antonia in here as well to help with the combo. You can't really use them both at the same time. Moving one, you can't really move one to the other, but it is nice to have a Fortress of Antonia because it works with evil characters as well. So if I use stocks or if I'm using aliens to capture to my land of bondage, then it's nice to have Fortress of Antonia instead of Raiders Camp because it can hold the evil characters and not just the heroes. Grab that out of reserve with wages or crowd's choice, I guess. I think those are the two options. So it's maybe better to have in deck, but there aren't really ways to tutor it from deck, so could get stuck in there just as easily, other than wages, which you can just get it from reserve. So that is, I think, everything to mention about the deck. The round one pairing that I got was against Jake, AgurTheWise. So I'm going to be playing against him. He built a mostly Angels like banding deck with a little bit of a Daniel splash and then a Wilderness defense. So it's kind of similar to, or I guess it reminded me of Emmanuel's Type 1 or Type 2 deck from Nationals last year. I'm not sure if the list for that actually, if he ever posted that somewhere, but that was one of the games that definitely I kind of struggled with, where I think it ended up. I think I only ended up getting to 4, and I think he got to 2 or something like that. It was whereas in most of my other games, I was able to finish in time, but that one was a tough one to play around with that wilderness defense and overtakens and that kind of stuff. So it was kind of reminding me of of those things, and you'll see that I think Jake's deck does a pretty good job in this game as well of kind of getting those blocks and setting up kind of tricky uh, plays, I guess, for me to try to play around, but even with a deck that wants to, I guess, maybe especially with a deck that wants to have a little more control of what's happening in the game. So I think that it's going to be a fun game to watch. Hopefully, I know the views on this video might be a little bit less because it is Type 2, and that's going to be in the thing in the title, and people might be turned off by that. But if you're here, that's awesome. Glad to see that there are people that are interested in Type 2. I mean, it's still redemption, right? So I mean, I think that it's fun to get to play. Speaking of redemption and Type 2 and all the things that go along with playing Type 2, you need some cards for it. So if you need to buy some duplicates of certain cards that you don't have in your Type 1 focused collection, Your Turn Games is the way to get those. You can pick up some singles to fill out your needs in order to build a Type 2 deck such as this one. Maybe you need a couple more copies of Teaching Comparables or Lost Child Found. You can pick those up over here at Your Turn Games, who are sponsors of this channel, and I'm happy to support them as they support us. And by us, I mean me, because it's just me, but by them, I mean they, because Andy and Kelsey work together, and it's a great business that they've got right here. So before I die from coughing here, let's go ahead and.
There we go. Of course, out of a 100-card deck, this came out. Really.
Hey, I mean, seems like it
Yeah, at least
might
there's
have
souls in the game.
targets. Yeah. All right. I rolled a 5.
What'd I roll? I rolled a 2.
All right. I think I'm gonna let you go first here.
I don't like that. I hate that's stupid. I hate that. Okay. I will negate star abilities. No star abilities.
All right. I will go ahead and do Stricken.
Okay. Disoriented will hit your hunter.
Yep. Sad days. I guess that was a reason to maybe go first. I could have pulled out a Humble or something like that. But
And put this face down. Here go.
all right. Guess I like the way that ended up. Although it probably means you've got a bunch of defense in there. Let's go ahead and start out with the New Covenant. Go to deck, find myself a teaching imparables.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do stone carriers. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what we're up against here. Teaching will target your disoriented, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, we got the wandering, the rebellious. Not too worried about rebellious on turn 1 here. Wandering is a little more concerning. Some Daniel and Angels kind of stuff. That's fun. Didn't want to just come in with strong Angel on turn 1.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Suppose since you wouldn't be able to draw with Angel Chariots or something.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do Wandering.
Yep.
A negate and a plot. Okay. Discard. Put down Tabernacle. We want to do that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put Ark of the Covenant in the Tabernacle there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go to battle.
You got it. You got a priest?
You got a stone carrier's going to come in and get disoriented. Maybe he'll find a priest. We'll see.
Declaring no blockers.
All right, fine. So stone carriers will get a bump, and
It's a 2/13 now.
Yep.
Okay.
Then I'm going to. No, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna pass turn.
Sounds good. Draw 3. Let's do Strong Angel to territory. Angelic Guidance will go to your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And there's.
Oop, that's my deck.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh man. There you go.
I don't know how you think Type 2 works, but yeah, it's not quite.
Yeah, it's not like that. Oh, sorry.
That's all good.
Oh, tons of evil. No good enhancements stricken. Soothsayers, commanders. Very confusing. All this cards I don't play. Raiders Camp. Capturing unit.
You don't play Raiders Camp?
Nope, don't play Raiders Camp. Trail. I've played in Trail before, but man, this is a lot of junk. Okay. It's all gonna do stuff that's gonna annoy me. Okay, so 1, 2.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Go to my deck. Silver card. As revealer.
All right.
Okay. Ton of stuff. Don't want to deal with. I'm going to activate. Go into captivity. Discard to capture hero and draw 1. I'll capture. I should have done that. Whatever. Stone carriers.
Sure.
Draw 1. There you go. Give you a solar rescue there.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I will. I'll pass back to you.
All right. Draw 3. You got a hopper. Hey, would have worked out anyway.
Nice. Wouldn't matter. Would have been fine.
Also got a couple of stars, so let's go ahead and do that one, which also would have worked.
That's funny.
And we'll do another stricken. So we'll resolve stricken there, and then amazing faith. I think. I kind of want to see what you got going on, but let's do this instead. I'll go to my deck.
Okay.
And I will just get that one out and going. So we'll go ahead and sure, that works. You get a Q and you get a hopper. These will go to hand. And then Let's see here. I think that's the way to go. So I'll go to prep phase. Let's do New Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go get... I'll get another Teaching Comparables.
Okay.
And I'll put down Prisoner at Gaza. It was my other soul gen option, so really it was...
Yeah, okay. Have plenty of options.
Yeah. We'll do Teaching Comparables when the gate queue this turn.
Mm-hmm.
And go see what else he found.
He loses experience counter, right, when he goes to the soul, or no?
Maybe. I haven't checked the rules recently. Yeah. Okay. Guess I'm not terribly worried about that. Or that, I guess. Yeah, let's just reserve your Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put down artifact. And yep, I guess I will go to battle if that's good with you.
You got it.
All right, attack with the prisoner. We'll capture him to you. Take spy from my reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Add spy to battle, and I guess we'll take a look at your reserve.
Okay. It's not balanced anymore. You messed it up.
Cheater. No. Wheat and tears. Okay. Bunch of curses. Push him, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Army of the Lord. Could be fun. All right. Cool.
Okay, I'll block with Rebellious Israelites. No effects. 12-1, 12-11. Your initiative.
Cool. Well,
I mean, you could discard a good card from hand if you want to.
that's tempting. I will choose not to.
Okay.
Then, yeah, I guess I'll play Amazing Faith.
Mm-hmm. Get your...
Go and get something here. Figure out what the best option actually is. I mean, you've got a CBN negate. That doesn't do anything. Just trying to figure out if there's a more value generating option here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there is. So let's just go and get good old Angel.
Yep. Kind of figured. At least I got that out.
Yep. We'll play it. Take out his plates.
You can have Stone Carriers.
I actually get to choose. That's how
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Type 2 works.
Man. See? We're learning the Type 2 rules right now.
So I'll go ahead and take it. I'll take a cue.
That's wrong.
Learning on the fly. All right. We got a 4/3 spy now.
Oh, man, that's a problem.
Yep. He's getting swole.
Getting these stricken stars, that's something. You're doing pretty good.
I gotta start recycling them now.
Good grief.
All right, your go.
Draw 3. Okay.
Gotta get my Grumble to my Shepherds and everything to start recycling them. Josh's Covenant.
So let's see here. I wish I knew about what the defense does exactly. Like, I don't have time to read all the cards all day. Let's do Reservoir territory, Legion of Angels territory.
Mm-hmm. So
Let's go for
is this E-Man's Nationals list, or did you build this?
Built my own list.
Okay.
I built my own list. Yeah. I'll go to Good crouch choice. Let's grab Angelic Guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Angelic Guidance again. Go to your hand again, not your deck.
Yep.
Stricken Trail. Okay, so.
Yes. Now you can see it and reveal the same stricken twice.
Exactly.
I just have 14 of them in my deck. So
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have a ton of like. You don't have a bunch of. You don't have negate heroes here. Okay. Okay, now I go to my deck. Let's grab Everlasting Beings.
Everlasting Beans.
Everlasting Beings. Put Chariots on Strong Angel.
Yep.
We'll attack with Strong Angel. Draw 2 from Chariots, no evil cards to negate.
Yep.
And you are up.
All right. So you get to play that. You get to abandon those guys. You get to dominant. Draw some cards. Just a lot of value. I think I'm gonna decline.
Yeah, I thought so.
Which one would you like?
Oh, I get to pick. This is crazy, man. Let's get your Lost Souls. I'll take that
All
one.
right. All
Okay.
yours.
Okay. I'm gonna put down a shield. I'm gonna put down nothing else. You're good to go.
All right.
No more stricken stars, at least until you underdeck them.
That's what you think.
Wait, or is it 3? You can do 3? You can do 3 of those?
Nope, just
Or
2.
is it 2? Okay.
Yep.
Like,
Okay.
obviously, if your deck is built to do it over the game, it's kind of crazy. But like 2 in 2 rounds is what I'm like,
Yeah. Right.
come on.
Okay. Which avenue is better here? Oh, I guess neither. You've got Res Revealer. I guess I could do that. Yeah. Let's put down a Philistine Soothsayers.
Nice.
And I'm gonna play Betrayal to underdeck your Res Revealer.
Okay. So,
Or you get a chamber out or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, still think this is better here. Let's do New Covenant. We'll go to deck. Well, maybe. Might be a better option here, actually.
Oh, you weren't gonna do that already? Oh man, I should listen.
I'm saying there might be a better option than teaching in parables, which I think
Oh,
there
okay.
is.
Okay.
I think Amazing Faith is
Okay.
where we want to be here.
There you go.
So we'll do that.
I do love Amazing Faith.
And I think I'll go to battle if that's cool with you.
That's cool with me. Let's go.
Sweet. Spies at AI.
Spies and AI.
Gonna go grab myself a Promised Land.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go take a peek at your handy hand.
There you go. Take a peek. Take a look.
Oh,
I got the beans.
only
The
2
everlasting
brigades. That's beans. And of course, Rebellion, Descent, Haman's Plot. Alright, so we're going to be doing CBN stuff. Imagine my Promised Land will not be sticking around.
Yeah.
Alright, that is my rescue.
Yep. Let's see here. I think the best play here is a few different options. Because restricting with dominance. Let's go Deceiver. Let's go to Reserve. Let's grab Wandering. I may draw 1 and exchange it. So, so to make this faster, do we want to play on a roll system? I know I have more than, and keep on drawing until the activate it 4 times and then do the final search. I'll tell you if I draw Wandering Israelites, or do you want me to go through the draw, shuffle, draw, shuffle, draw, shuffle, draw, shuffle, like exchange shuffle every time?
Yeah, I don't know, like how people have typically done that. Because I mean, I guess
Like,
as long as you
as long as
have,
you trust me being honest, like I will say I'll draw 4 of them, and if I draw the rest of my copies, like, I'll tell you, I can't exchange them anymore. You know,
oh, because you
like
have 4 copies in there.
I have 3 copies in here,
Okay,
so as long as I don't have all 3 copies in my hand, it should continue to go for the 4 full activations. But I
sure.
can just do it the long way if we want to do the long way.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could just draw, shuffle. Like, don't actually exchange Wandering Israelites, but just draw 1,
Yeah.
shuffle your deck, draw
Oh
1.
yeah.
Yeah,
I need to press shuffle once at least because okay, draw shuffle. Okay, so draw 1, shuffle. Draw 1, shuffle. Okay, so there. Soul. Draw 1. Soul. Draw 1. Shuffle. Okay, so lawless is New Testament negated, so prevented on entry. Oh, but it's during battle, and you have 9 cards in hand, and I have humble. So humble would modify that one, even though they came out like one after the other. Humble came first, and then lawless. That it should modify it, right?
Did you draw? Were they one on top of the other, or did you
Yeah,
draw?
humble was on top. Humble was on top of lawless.
Or so
It was
you
humble.
you drew? Was Lawless the replacement card for Humble?
Yeah,
I guess.
lawless was a placement card for humble.
Hmm. How does that work? Because I mean, if
Yeah.
they enter at the same time.
You want to pause and ask for somebody on rules?
Because I'm pretty sure the ruling is at least with Harvest Time that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Drawing might be different because it's more
Consecutive. Yeah.
sequential. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um. Yeah, I might as well ask here. I'll pause our timer.
Okay. And one other question is, Wandering Israelites can enter the battle as many times as it wants in the turn. It's just it can only activate 4 times, right?
Um. Right. Yeah.
Okay. It does make humble a lot weaker with the Rescuer's Choice.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, kind of the idea is that you're playing enough other Lost Souls that are kind of annoying.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It's just I was just thinking about how it changes the dynamic. Okay, so
Yeah.
no activation. Okay. And I get 1 more activation when we're drawing exchange because I did
Restarting the timer here.
draw 1. Oh wait, I don't actually know. How many times did I draw? 1, 2. So one of them was a humble, one of them was lawless. So 2 of the draws are not real. So I've done 2 draws so far. Yes, I've done 2 draws so far.
Yeah.
I get 2 more activations. Okay. Let me verify this. I don't want to overdraw.
See if you need your Humble active.
No, I was just checking this. I don't want to draw 5 when I should have drawn 4. I'm just making sure.
Oh, sure.
Um,
I think you started out with
just
6 cards in hand.
okay, yeah.
Once
So I
you
should get 2 more draws.
Yeah, your first draw, it says your hand was 7 cards. So yeah, you should end up with
All right.
10 more, or 10 in hand.
Okay. Draw 1, shuffle, and draw 1. And I can exchange. So I'll go to my deck to see the exchange. I will decline the exchange.
Sure.
So I'll leave this 1, 3 in here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, your initiative.
My initiative. Let's see if you've got an answer for this. Let's play Descent Against Moses. No good enhancements to negate. I can activate an Old Testament curse from Archive Power Reserve. I will go to Reserve for Madness. Madness targeting Spies at AI. Reserve this card, reserve a hero.
Yep. That'll work.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and do this now before you get any kind of hand protection out.
Mm-hmm.
Promised Land. Go see what you got. Danny.
Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Deceiver, another one, huh?
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do that. Don't mind if I do.
I'll have what he's having.
All right. With that, I will put down one more card because I'm at 9. Let's do Raiders Camp as a fortress.
Okay.
And I'll pass turn.
Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. It's not how I want to draw. Let's activate Madness to reserve your spy.
Another madness.
This is Madness. This is spy. Let's see. Let's do an attack with Strong Angel. And draw 2.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think we go that way. Yeah. Okay. Let's block with the Deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to your deck.
Okay.
And we'll get Mr.
Upland deck.
We'll do Mr. Armor Bearer.
Okay.
He will equip Goliath Spear from reserve, which I will discard to discard Legion of Angels. And then we'll exchange Armor Bearer with Mr. Goliath. You get your draw.
Okay.
And kick out
1,
GSA.
2. Okay. See here. Okay, let's see. I get to present a new hero immediately. Yeah. I will not present anybody. I got 3 triggers. You got Deceiver, Armor Bearer getting weapon, and Goliath. So 3 on shield.
Yes, yep.
Okay. Let's get rid of Thunder Deck. This, and this.
Yep.
Is it under deck? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I will discard Strong Angel. I will place like a community and territory. Will place Daniel in territory.
Mhm.
And I will pass to you. Here we go.
Right. Found a complacent and a covet.
Okay.
Let's see. Get a shield trigger, but I guess that's fine. We'll go ahead and covet.
Mm-hmm.
See what you got here. Seems like it'd be kind of mean. Let's do this one. Take your Remnant.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to use it to snag your Wicked Community.
Okay. Trigger from Sheol. It's underdeck Remnant.
Sure.
Okay. So
Figured you might, but yeah, thought I might tempt you otherwise. All right. Let's do prep phase stuff. We'll put down Ashkelon as a site.
Oh man, Ashkelon. You're trying to do that stuff now? Oh.
We'll go ahead and occupy Ashkelon with my complacent. Make you discard a card from hand.
Okay. Let's discard King's Plot.
Okay. And I will use the New Covenant to... Yeah, I'll use the New Covenant. Go to deck for Lost Child Found.
Okay.
I will put down... Erase. Yeah, you know, trigger if you want it.
Yeah. Under deck trigger. Let's do by under deck complacent, you get an extra trigger on that. So let's just
Do
under
it.
deck. Let's under deck. Oh man. And then if I run out of stuff to rescue, I'll under deck. Have it. There you go.
Yep. 2 on Shield this turn. And then we'll put down Medad.
Mm-hmm.
Territory class for turn. We'll play Lost Child Found. Gonna bounce Promised Land, Ashkelon, and Shield.
Okay.
And then go ahead and put down Ashkelon as a site.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and put Complacent into Ashkelon.
Okay, I'll discard No Salvation.
Okay. And unfortunately, Medad is not a Joshua hero. Wonder if that is my best bet. Let's put down Philistine Commanders. Put down another Soothsayers. Put down King Akish. And do we just load them all down just to be extra careful? Yeah, we'll put down 12-Finger Giant.
Okay.
And I will go to battle if that's cool with you.
You got it.
All right, Medad coming in hot.
Mm-hmm.
Finding me a wilderness hero, which will be Sir Joshua the Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And she will take Captain of the Host from reserve.
Okay.
And Bandu a Joshua hero, which will be Captain of the Host.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Switch abilities. So the characters.
Coming for that humble.
Yep. That is a pain. You got it.
All right, cool. We'll go ahead and plop down the Promised Land. Now that I've got some Joshua heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And the shield looks kind of nice. Go ahead and take that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put that down. And I will pass the turn.
And if I could only keep some Resurrection Reviewers in play. I have 4 of them.
Oh, man.
What's the deal? What's the deal? Speak of the devil.
We don't like those
Okay,
guys.
draw 3. Draw 3. Resurrection Revealer. As I lose here very quickly, I'm going to go in with Strong Angel and draw 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Lawless. And the Lawless is not negated anymore. Oh, was negated an evil card first. I missed it apparently. Okay, whatever. So Lawless activates. Top 6. Forsaken and Deceiver.
Yep.
And you are
Forsaken, huh? Reasonable timing on that, I guess. I'm just gonna block with Goliath, and we'll do that whole thing again.
1, 2, back. Withdraw. Present. Resurrection Revealer. Can search my deck for a good Gospel Dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab. Right, same things are gonna change. It's good. Harvest Time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can play a Revelation enhancement, but that would be negated. Oh yeah, and the draw would be negated too.
Getting
Yeah.
all the fun things.
Yep. That was just completely bad play, and I will die by numbers.
I'll take my shield trigger just before you perish.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think we're just going to underdeck here Forsaken.
Okay.
I want my Joshua to be able to band.
Yeah. Okay. No humble for me. This is going horrible. Dummy Shack. And I guess I can play a territory class, Everlasting Beings.
Sure.
Resurrection Revealer. This guy.
Seems good. I will
And
use shield to
yeah.
underdeck Hunter.
Okay. You're good.
All right. You are negating my neutrals now, which is unfortunate. Okay. No upkeep stuff. We'll put down an artifact. I guess we'll turn that over. Got a deceiver. Guess that's not great for me. Guess the question is, did you find another plot? Yeah, that's the all right. I will go to battle. That's good with you.
Let me see before. No, I'm gonna do something first.
Okay.
Let's play Harvest Time for. Let's do. Oh yeah, that's gonna mess it up. Yeah, that's lame. We'll do Harvest Time for 3.
Okay.
I'll go to your deck first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can have 2 hoppers? I didn't know. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if it completely didn't count for the rules for souls. Okay. Shuffle.
Yep. Another humble.
And I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay. So your souls would activate, but they don't activate. My souls activate.
Mm-hmm.
Remnant will take Joshua to territory. And lost there and there and there. Okay. So now you're up.
All right. So you're giving me some shield options here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just do your humble.
Okay.
All right. What do I do with that? Sure. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go to battle.
Okay.
We're just going solo captain.
Okay.
See what happens.
Let's see here.
You don't need Joshua.
Exactly. No Josh in here. See.
Good old 11-11 captain.
Mm-hmm. Deceiver to deck. Okay. Not many options. Yeah, I should have done it the other way. Okay. Wandering Israelites, no effect.
Mm-hmm. Sheol. I think now we'll just hit Remnant.
Okay. I could just blocked with my Wandering Israelites anyways. Yay. Okay. My initiative.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, actually, let's see. This other Wandering Israelites should be a 2/4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right about
Well,
that.
it does change it. It's not completely different. Yeah, a little better
Yeah,
initiative on that
right.
guy. That's why I was doing it. That's the whole time. Let's play Core's Billy and get crazy.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, it may not work that way. I forgot. You're gonna make it most of these abilities. Oh, see, these are CPNs. Okay, so let's see here. Who am I gonna ban to?
Probably just banned a 12-finger giant.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's do.
Goliath would also be acceptable.
Yeah, glad to be fun to ban too. This guy.
Oh, wait, I think you underdecked Forsaken instead of Remnant.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, reveal bottom. Okay. Get soothsayers. Let's get. So the order will be.
That's funny that it actually legitimately does matter for Philistine
Yeah.
soothsayers. Because your other Wandering Israelites is toughness of 4.
Funny. Yes, big brain plays. All the not smoothest, the crunchiest brain. I got the crunchiest brain. Let's see here. With this, oh, that might be good actually at the end. No, yeah, we'll do this guy. Okay, so let's do this. Philistine Soothsayers. I do control a team of 3 or less. So I'm gonna look at top 6 cards. Take one under deck the rest. Top deck and or under deck the rest. Okay. So we'll be able to owner top 6.
Yeah, you can't change the order, but you can
Yeah.
choose to underdeck some of them. It's kind of
Okay.
weird.
That's cool. Let's grab Bane Philosophy. I'll send these to the bottom. Reveal to owner top 6. Take Sent Against Moses and bottom these.
Yep.
And I can play another Philistines in play. So there's one. And I could draw 2 or play an OT Evil Enhancement.
That's negated by Captain, right?
CBN. It's good to CBN because there's no David in play, right?
It's only CBN if David is in play.
Oh, if David didn't play. Oh, you're silly. Okay. And I draw heroes except one. Maybe enter Philistine Warrior. Do I want to switch it out? I don't want to give you Joshua, that's for sure. I wonder what type of silver enhancements you got. Do I want 12-finger giant instead of these guys? I'd rather see what you can do with these guys. So we'll leave that there. Oh, I can take an evil for OT Fortress from a deck.
That's negated as well.
No, yeah, that's again. So I can't do anything. So yeah, there you go.
All right. So I get a Promised Land trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Take a good OT gold card from deck.
Oh no. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good actually.
It's not as helpful as one might think
You might think.
in this
Yeah.
particular instance. I think that's the way to go. Yeah. All right. Let's just do it that way. I'm gonna grab Caleb.
Okay.
Alrighty. My initiative.
Your initiative.
All right. Captain down.
I thought so. If you were going to fight, I was expecting Holy Ground or something like that.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but unfortunately did not go for that.
How am I so much deeper in my deck and have so few cards in play? I don't understand. Oh, there's a cards in my discard. And reserve.
Question. Yeah, you got nice chunky reserve there. Let's put
Mhm.
down Caleb, and I will pass turn.
Sound good. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. No stars, no souls. Let's see here. This Goliath has caused me problems.
Yeah, it seems like your offense is kind of built around banding
And drawing.
and drawing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gotta hope to find something good. Let's go straight to combat if you're good with that.
Sure.
Go expatriator. We'll get rid of shield back to my deck.
I don't think you can target
Oh, it's
shield.
not it. It's not an opponent's evil.
Yep.
You're right.
Can do Raiders Camp, or just negate a
Yep.
character, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's do Raiders Camp.
Yep.
And underdeck it. Bantu Gospel Angel. Legion of Angels, please draw me what I need. Draw 3. Oh, I don't. Wouldn't work anyways. That is my rescue attempt.
Okay, got some big boys. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to lock with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's reserve. Yeah, I think I can do that. Reserve that card to draw 1. I'm going to capture aliens to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll add Philistine commanders to battle who you are currently protected from. So I can't withdraw, but I will ban 2 other Philistine commanders you are not protected from. So I do have to withdraw. So I will withdraw your. Let's withdraw the Legion.
Okay.
And then we'll ban 2 King Akish. And I will play an OT evil enhancement, which will be bringing you fear.
Mm-hmm.
Will negate
back.
King Akish, but bringing fear back in my hand.
30. Okay.
And it is your initiative.
And I guess I'll just die.
Cool.
Okay. Let's do Zimri, son of Salu in territory, and I will pass to you.
Yep. Draw 3. Should have done that first. Cool. Sad prosperity. No stars. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's play. See, my neutrals are negated. So let's play Warrior Overtaken.
Mm-hmm.
Take an Evil Philistine from my deck. Will be Armor Bearer, and yes, we'll take out the Reservealer. And then... Which way do I go here? Okay. Let's just do New Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Go to deck for good old TIP.
Yep. Down TIP. Yeah, you know me. I like to play dominant.
Sure. As long as it's good, I suppose.
Oh yeah, you're right. All evil dominants are being restricted. Thank you.
No vain philosophy for you.
Yep. No bait philosophy.
All right, so good to continue.
Yep, you're good. You're
All
good.
right. Teaching comparables will negate your wicked community. And go take a peek, see at your hand. Oh, look, evil dominance. Okay. So, Descent against Moses. Gonna be tricky to deal with either way. Confusion, Deceiver.
So experience counters modify their base toughness, or is it just like so? Like for Philistine Soothsayer, did not see things that were modified over that
Right, yeah.
with the counters. Okay.
Yep. So it's not great either way, but let's do the Deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently I should just have my reserve loaded with captains.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking.
Oh, that's misplay. Maybe I couldn't have done it anyway. All right. That's fine. That is fine. Okay. Don't really want to give you initiative. Don't know if I can play around that though. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think I'm just going to pass a turn.
Okay. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. No stars, no souls.
Just a heads up, we've
Let's
got
do.
8 minutes, 45 seconds
Okay.
left in our timer here.
Looks like I'm gonna lose. Everlasting Beans. Territory class.
I don't like it.
Just 2. Oh man, just 2. I thought it was more.
Go ahead and Sheol away your Forsaken.
Okay. Let's do main philosophy on you.
Yep.
Long day. Amazing
More
day.
defense. Woo.
Yeah. Let's get rid of. Let's get rid of a long day.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do Patriator, negating Akish, banding to Legion of Angels, draw 3. We got a Prosperity. Prosperity will let me discard a card, draw 2. You don't have anything punishing that, so I'll discard Wandering Israelites and draw 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you are good.
I'm good.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's see here. Do we want to get initiative or do that? I suppose that's actually better. Yeah. You're 23, 22. Akish is negated. Okay. So let's do Armor Bearer.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do Foreign Spears to oh no, that's unfortunate. Yep, I should have banded. So I guess you're Legion of Angels protects your Resurrection Revealer and territory.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's crazy.
That's sad. Okay, well, I guess we'll just negate your Legion of Angels with Foreign Spears.
1, 2, 3.
Gotta do it this way, which I guess still kind of works. Exchange to reserve for...
Oh, wait, sorry. The last 2 of those were... I'm going to draw those 3 back and then get the right ones, because 2 of
Oh,
those
yeah,
are from
Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Yep.
It's like, wait, that's not the 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So then exchange to reserve for Commander Fikal. We'll then equip Foreign Spears from reserve, discard it to discard Res Revealer.
Nice.
And then
Can't keep any of those guys in play.
ban to a Philistine, except a king. So we can't ban to Akish. We could ban to commanders. Withdraw. I think I'd rather just keep initiative. I'm just going to ban to soothsayers, just to have another character in battle.
And 12.
Yeah, then I will ask for initiative.
You got initiative?
11, 13, I guess, just to...
Oh, yeah, sorry. 11, 13, to be sure.
Yep.
You got it.
All right, let's do... This is still going to have to beat you by the numbers here. Yeah, worst case scenario. All right, I'll play Betrayal. Let's go and underdeck a good card from your hand. Cool. Voice from Heaven, gonna do anything mean to me? I think that's okay. Yeah, let's just do, well, yeah, let's just do Swift Beings. And draw 3.
Swift Beans, Everlasting Beans. This is the Strong Beans deck.
So many beans. All right, then I'll draw 3. Got an Outcry, which does work. Shall we do that? Do I need Philistines? Let's see. You went first, right? So I guess got 3 minutes left. So this is
last rescue for me.
Last round, yeah. Okay, so then I don't think, well, actually, yeah, I am going to use Outcry. We'll do, go get a Armor Bearer from my deck. We'll go and send this card there. Oops, not discard, deck. Okay. I think I'm still losing here. I will use Sheol. Discard that to your discard. Banish a Betrayal from my discard.
You can ban to a Crimson character. Add a Crimson character.
I could. I think I'm just gonna add my Armor Bearer.
Boring.
We'll do
you and your Armor Bearers and your spears.
Philistine Chariots.
Your chariots.
Negate your Angel Chariots. Draw 2.
Man. That's thematically unpleasing.
And then Armor Bearer will exchange to reserve for Delilah. Be sweet if I had another Armor Bearer, and then could activate or equip Chariots again.
Oh, wow.
But unfortunately,
very
not
fancy.
there. But I will ban to Philistine Soothsayers, who I can trigger now because I've got a little Delilah. So Look at my
There you
top
go.
6. I will take Avenged, and we'll just bottom those. And how I might be winning?
I think so.
I've got
23, 22. I think you're winning or close.
13, 16, 19, 25 toughness.
There you go. You're at least
4,
stalemating me.
5, 8, 12, 19 strength. So it is stalemate.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that. Time.
Okay. I'll pass on stalemate.
Okay. I will play Avenged. Go and grab another Ashkelon.
Okay.
And capture Legion of Angels.
You got it.
Cool.
Dead. Okay. Your turn.
Alright. Let's see if I can do any differential boosting here.
I guess on draw, might as well. Well, I don't have any protect abilities. On draw, can I play dominant?
Yeah, no stars. I just drew blind, so good.
Okay. Let's do Voice from Heaven. And a banishing number cards from my reserve.
It's actually kind of an interesting like timeout card. Yeah, it's like if you're at the end of the game, then you went first.
Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to use that. I don't think I can use. You have how many cards in your reserve? 14?
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should be fine.
Not that many of them are good if you.
Exactly.
That helps.
So we'll do 12 banished, or 13 banished. And I'll banish 13 from your reserve.
Now your banish pile is huge, so all my posties are gonna get.
Oh, dude. Man, I messed that
boons.
up. Big misplay. I can banish everything but one, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Since you banished 13 from yours.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So I'll leave you with one armor bearer, and you can banish the rest.
All right. Got one armor bearer.
There we go.
Chilling. Is that the first time that Voice from Heaven has been used against me? No, I don't think so. I think for J.K. Pow, he was using that for a while. I think he used it against me at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what? Really wish I had a Book of the Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. Let's do Bears of the Ark. I guess I could have. Yeah. Let's put down Ashkelon as a site.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and put aliens in there and make you discard a card.
Okay, we'll discard these dominants I don't get to play.
Fair enough. We'll do. I think that's the best option here. New Covenant. We'll go to. Pretty sure I still got one left in deck. We'll go to deck. For Lost Child Found.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a little unfortunate though. Yeah, we gotta put down a Medad. And I'll play Lost Child Found. Bounce Promised Land. Ashkelon, and yeah, I guess I gotta bounce me dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put down Ashkelon. We'll occupy it. You can discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
20 shekels. Okay. We'll put down Promised Land and go take a peek.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got that. Right, we'll take the Reap the Whirlwind.
Okay.
And then, oops. No, that goes to my hand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Good. More cards in your hand. No
Yeah.
humble action.
Right.
It's not gonna help me this turn.
Put down Captain. Let's put down Artifact.
And maybe 2 negate captains in the reserve and 2 draw captains in main deck. I don't know, or maybe just 1 and 2. It feels like
Yeah.
negate captain is really good for past the first 3-4 turns of the game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Like, have him in reserve so I can get him a little later. I think this deck, I mean, by the time like nationals or, I mean, can't think quite that far ahead because we get some big tournaments still. But if I were to use this deck at nationals or something like that, like I'd probably get redemption in here because having a way to recur captain,
Yeah.
is pretty nice. Okay, so I think I will go to battle here.
Okay.
That's good with you. We'll. I think the plan is just put as many characters into battle as I can, and then hopefully you can't deal with all of them. So we'll go with Medad. We'll go to, I think we do that one. Yeah. Joshua's officiators. Who will. I guess we could negate both of those. Yeah. So we'll equip Caleb's sword to Caleb. And then we'll ban to Caleb. He will negate Wandering Israelites #1. Ban to Captain. We'll draw 3. And negate Wandering Israelites #2. And ban to Joshua, who will take nothing from my reserve. That's how that works. And then ban to Bearers of the Ark. We'll just draw 2.
Nice.
And yeah, I think we'll do this now. I'm going to play a good crowd's choice. Oh, actually,
Okay.
I can't because of complacent.
Oh yeah. No glory.
Nope.
Okay. So you're not. Are you preventing anything right now?
Just both Wandering Israelites.
Yeah, you're preventing artifacts and Israelites. Okay.
And yeah.
That Bears the Ark's actually pretty relevant. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I honestly
Kind of
didn't think
crazy
about
there.
that.
Okay, let's do Zimri Sinasalu. I will negate Bears the Ark.
Yep.
My initiative.
Puts those 2 cards back. Yep.
Let's do Confusion. I'll name Son of God. And banish just to banish all copies of something I got from your deck.
Yep.
Discard pile and hand. Let's see.
Yep. That's the one I was trying to go for with
Very-
Crowd's Choice there. Because
Yeah.
as you'll see, it was in the 2 cards that I drew with bears. So I was like, oh, if we negate bears, then bummer.
Deck. Hidden to others. I put the Daniel Son of God in here, but I'm like, wait, I have 4 Resurrection Revealers. I don't know why I put the Daniel.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my Promised Land trigger. Oh well.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. In theory, it might have been better for me to leave it anyways, since any Crowd's Choice was in the top 2, but I don't think I avoided draw cards, so it doesn't really matter.
I get to search your discard pile too, but I don't want to do that. Okay. So my initiative again. What do I do here? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it's futile. Resistance is futile. Is there anything else I can do here? I could have reserved no testament. I didn't do that. What would I have reserved? I could have reserved go into captivity. That would have been smart. Arctic Power Reserve. Okay. I can just whittle away at your team, but it's not enough to get everything, so there's no point.
You know what you could have done that
And-
would have been kind of crazy.
But
If you had reserved your no salvation, because Descent Against Moses lets you take or activate, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Reserve your no salvation, play that to take the Reap the Whirlwind that I took from you.
Oh. Well, let me see. Wait.
Hopefully you don't have any other ways to
No,
do that.
it just activates. It doesn't take.
Oh, Descent
just
Against
activates.
Moses only take.
I can only use.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
okay.
only use the artifact side.
Oh, okay. Bummer.
I can activate in all the curses, and if I could switch sides, it'd be nice to capture everything. But obviously, you have negates.
Right.
Yeah. I think I maybe like if I did it perfectly, I think I could get into a mutual, but it doesn't change anything. So I'm gonna say thank you for the game. Thank you for teaching me type 2.
Yeah, good game. That was. I feel like it was kind of awkward for both of our offenses there for a while.
Two strickers at the beginning, it was kind of crazy. Like, oh, man, I can't do anything, and making me go first when I didn't want to go first. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Good game though.
Yeah, it was good. I guess.
So
yeah,
4-1.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah.
Take my stone carriers.
There's literally no. Yeah, you don't have a way to unbanish or something like that.
Yep. Yeah,
sounds good.
Complacent. Should have. I don't think there was any way. I mean, I didn't really want to turn dominance on anyway. I don't think. I mean, I guess in case there was a way for you to draw, but yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, that was fun. It was good to play some Type 2 again. Haven't. I guess I got a couple games in recently, like with Tim and whatnot, but yeah, glad we got the turnout that we did for this Lackey Grand Prix.
Yeah.
They're like the 10 of us. It's pretty sweet. Not what I expected.
Exactly. Well, I got to get to work. That was fun. Thank you for making time for me. I'm sorry for being crazy on my time, but that was really a blessing.
No worries.
And
yeah,
I'm excited for this
Type
Type 2 stuff. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Another thing to brew on. I like the ability to include more cards. I don't like singleton as. I mean, sometimes I like singleton, but I don't like it as the primary thing. I prefer like having extra copies of cards. So
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's fun, especially with the things you can do with some of the more powerful enhancements and Wandering Israelites.
More deck building choices. Like taking me to I don't even use 4. There's barely anything that uses 4. Like
right.
It's only the specific few. I think it's part of the deck building thing to say, okay, I think 3, 2, 3 is better than 4. Like gives you a lot more choices. And I feel like Type 1 is basically just cramming in the strongest cards and like, okay, I picked the 50 strongest cards for my deck, and there we go. Like this one is more like, okay, you got to balance the sides. I do like the rules more. of Type 2 for sure, in terms of deck
Does
building.
that include experience credit and rescuer's choice? How do you feel
I
about
mean,
those?
yeah, I think experience credit is just a leftover from the past. I don't think it really, like, obviously it does impact the game in some states, but in general, I think it could be removed and not. I think the game would be. I think the format would be better if it was removed,
Sure.
because in general, like, it's just extra, like, tracking and stuff that you really shouldn't have to worry about. Like, it's for what it adds to the format. It doesn't. The cons outweigh the pros, in my opinion, on that. That's just my initial thought without
Yep.
playing a ton of it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
what else is there? Oh, Rescuer's Choice. Rescuer's Choice, I think, is actually, I think it's better. Like, it is what you used to do in the old day, and I don't think that's wrong. I think it's good at. I think Humble being overpowered because you can just hide behind an infinite, like, layer of, like, oh, here's a useless soul, here's a useless soul, here's, like,
Yeah.
I like that you can actually choose. Um, but I also like that you can choose without having them target them and bury them in response too. So I think I like this rescuing better than Type 1 rescuing.
Yeah. Better than like, the old days where he's like choose at the beginning and then all you need is
Yeah,
one way to underdeck a lost soul and
exactly.
yeah.
Burial. Okay. Okay. That's great. Thanks.
Or just Annis the Elder, I guess. Even in a
Yeah,
non meek lost soul
exactly.
deck, that'd be kind of funny.
No. But this is a great format. Like, the fact that you can play draw captain and negate all fight by the numbers captain.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I think that's really, like, those type of choices make it a lot more fresh
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah. A lot of
A lot more
flexibility
room
there.
for brewing.
Yeah. I feel like back in, kind of initial type 2, especially with enhancements, it was like, you just had like 5 copies, eventually 4 copies of the best enhancements
Hmm.
and maybe 2 or 3 copies of each of your best heroes. But now with the card quality being what it is, then
Hmm.
it's like, oh, this card's so good, this card's so good. I've only got 3 teaching comparables and 2 amazing faiths in here. It's like they're
Yep.
both super good. Like I would run 4 of each of them if
Yeah.
I back
The other thing
in
I was thinking about
that.
is uh, Type 2. I don't know if it's balanced. I don't know if the balance is perfect. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's been explored in a strong way.
Yeah,
Besides, if, like, a few players have played it, but once more players start playing it, we might find out, like, there are things that are not balanced for it. But the game is largely created for Type 1. I know they keep Type 2 in mind, but it's harder to. Like, the focus is obviously on Type 1 for the card creation. So
right.
I
Yeah,
think you could find some themes that might be a little too strong in Type 2.
yeah. I
We'll see.
am
But
a little like one of my initial thoughts as I was looking at Redemption, like the new Nats promo, like
yeah,
Type 1, it maybe sees play in a couple of decks.
yeah,
Um, but in Type 2, I feel like it's just like it's
really
almost an
good at
auto
that mid game.
include.
Yeah,
Like it's just late game. It's really good, especially
that
if you've
game's
got
mid
choose
game.
the rescuer abilities. If you've got
Hmm.
if you're playing something like a Joshua deck that needs specific heroes for
Hmm.
specific roles and that kind of thing. Like I think just the late game kind of catch up or acceleration potential is just too good.
That's the other thing about
And
Type 2 is the going to 7 gives you a little bit more breathing room to say, okay, you can have the first rescue. Like,
yeah,
I need to set up something else. So
yeah, right,
that's nice.
yep, yeah, and then also, I mean, I think so you're more likely to get into late game, like you were saying, and then also just, I mean, having 14 dom slots, or even 15 is
Hmm.
I'm playing 106 and have 15 dominance, and like it's still kind of hard to narrow it down to like, okay, which 15 are the best, and there's certainly some variety. Like you're playing both Voice from Heaven and Harvest Time, which I'm not running in here.
Hmm.
I think I even cut Doubt as well.
Yeah,
But like
yeah. I
the
think War Overtaking is better than Doubt. But if you don't have a Philistine or Egyptian, you might
right,
want to run Doubt.
yeah, yeah, no, just like even at 14, like it is kind of hard to narrow down the dom slots. But that said, I think Redemption still goes into most Type 2 decks. Or I think it probably should.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to see much play in Type 1, but I can definitely see a lot more in Type 2. It's mid game power, like, bump, and give you the flexibility to keep characters and
Yeah.
convert your temple guards to play Ascension.
Right. Yep.
So
Yep. Especially in a deck
very
like
cool.
mine where I'm running double complacent and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Agreed.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again, and
Thank you.
we'll catch you next time.
Gotcha. Have a good one.
Yep. You too.